Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevy certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. And with our tire price match guarantee, you get the best fit for the best deal. Let us do the work. Available on select eligible tire brands at participating dealers only. Offer ends 12/31/2025. Terms apply. See dealer for complete details. Visit Chevrolet.com/service to learn more.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Eagles finished up their third practice of training camp on Saturday, and we are going to recap and overreact on this Overreaction Monday to everything we've learned so far through 3 practices. Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, right here on the Eagles Pinpoll Podcast Network. I'm Phil Stiefel, your host. You can also find me hosting Trending in the AM Monday through Friday on the STT Sports Network. I got today's show linked below. Basically, we talk all trending things in sports with the Philadelphia sports teams, but also it's a place where you can bring your opinions on the things I say here to that show and let me know what you think about everything we got talking about. And it is Monday morning. It is the 28th of July. We are inching closer and closer to the start of the regular season. And after 3 practices on Saturday, kind of feel like we're getting a little bit of an idea of some things and some people. But I'm just going to ramble off on some of the notes here that I've taken from practice from all the great beat reporters. It definitely seemed like the defensive line had a very good practice on Saturday. Moro Ojomo, again, big day 3, lots of pressure again. Seems like he is definitely an early standout at camp so far. Kenyon Green, guard, who we traded for, obviously, in the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, back at practice for the first time. Still no Jalen Carter. Still no panic from me on Jalen Carter, but Kenyon Green getting out there is good if he wants to make this roster, if he wants to have a role on this team. Kevin Patullo spoke before practice and definitely hyped up Jalen Hurts, how he's having a great camp so far, and how he's pretty much a complete player now at this point of his career, which is great. On the defensive side, Adoree Jackson for the second straight practice was the first guy up with the ones on defense on the cornerback spot. Sidney Brown and Drew Makuba rotated in at safety, but Adoree got first and most reps with the ones, Keely Ringo being sprinkled in. Jalen Hurts had an inconsistent day with 15 of 24 with his passing, but he did have 2 very tight window throws reportedly that would have gone for touchdowns to Devontae Smith, which is great to see. He also had another great deep pass to Keely Ringo, or to A.J. Brown, who beat Keely Ringo again with tight coverage. But, and we've talked about it before, how, Quinion Mitchell having to guard A.J. Brown regularly helps him get better. Hopefully Keely Ringo's getting better by having to go up against A.J. Brown's and Devontae Smith regularly. You saw for the first time Terrence Marshall, wide receiver, get some reps with the first team. Honestly, Terrence Marshall, Elijah Cooks, Danny Gray, all the fringe wide receivers are having great camps. And we're hearing all their names pretty regularly. You're not hearing Johnny Wilson or Anaya Smith's names. Maybe there might be some shift in the wide receiver room when camp breaks in a couple of weeks. We'll see what happens there. But Terrence Marshall, first team reps there. That's good to see. Hurts to Dallas Goedert a lot through 3 practices. I know a lot of people make a lot of comments, but about the tracking of stats in training camp. But so far through 3 practices, tight end Dallas Goedert has had the most targets out of any receiver on this team so far. They did pump in crowd noise for the first time in practice, so there's that little nugget there. Kevin Petula did talk about A.J. Dillon as well and how he's having a good camp so far, considering he hasn't played football in well over a year, and is impressed with his ability to catch the ball, something he wasn't aware of how good he was. We did see the dime formation for the first time in camp with Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown as your safeties, Cooper DeJean and Drew Makuba as your 2 slot corners. Something we've talked about, that Drew Makuba could, just like Cooper DeJean, bounce all over the field. So that's something to also monitor. You know, we talk about these stats, by the way. You know, Jalen Hurts is 46 of 58, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in camp so far. And a lot of people say, oh, it's stupid to track. Look, if you're using the stats that Elliott Shore Parks is tracking to make like informed decisions on what this team's going to be, don't. They're fun. They're entertaining. They're a way for us to enjoy more football information. It's an entertainment purpose. I think people overreact to what the purpose of tracking stats are. You can learn a little bit, but it's just for fun. We crave more football knowledge. So I don't have an issue with ESP tracking stats and how he posts them. You know, we might have an issue with ESP for other things, but, you know, for the purposes of what they really are, guys, people got to lay off. I enjoy the stats. We did see Jahad Campbell in with the ones a lot on day 3. Bobby King, the linebacker coach, who doesn't get enough credit for how great of an assistant coach he is, spent a lot of time coaching up Jahad Campbell in between plays, and you love to see it. Jahad Campbell looks like he's on track to be that starting linebacker next to Zach Vaughn by week 1. It's not a knock on Trot Jr., who did make the comment section of the beat reporters with a big pass breakup at Jalen Hurts on Saturday, but it looks like it's Jahad Campbell. He's learning to be inside first, but is practicing before and after practice on the outside and his blitzing techniques as well. He did say after practice, Jahad Campbell, that Tuesday is supposed to be the first pad at practice, and he expects to be in pads and practicing. So that's the next step in his recovery from shoulder surgery as well. Jordan Davis as well shined in the pass rush a lot on Saturday. Pretty much everyone was able to get pressure on Jalen Hurts. So maybe the defensive line won over the offensive line on Saturday. They definitely had a very good day. It looked like Drew Makuba got banged up late in practice in a collision with Danny Gray, wide receiver, but he was able to walk off the field, and that was pretty much the end of practice anyway. Jelix Hunt spoke after practice, and Jelix Hunt reminded me a lot of Jalen Hurts now because he spent the offseason talking to other great elite defensive ends in football to learn from them, soak up information from the successful ones. He said he spoke and spent time with Max Crosby, Von Miller, just to name a few, to get better. And you love to see that. So it's not just Jalen Hurts spending time with Jordan or Tom Brady in off seasons. It's all the players spending time with other people to get better. Also, Sidney Brown spoke after practice. He said he spent the offseason getting himself finally 100%. He said last year he wasn't 100% despite coming back from the injury. Now his knee feels great and he's ready to go. He feels like he's at that point, which that's a good thing to see. Also, again, I mentioned it already. Danny Gray, Elijah Cooks are having strong first week of camp, along with Terrence Marshall, who obviously A.J. Brown hyped up Terrence Marshall already. Elijah Cooks has a very special, close connection with A.J. Brown as well. Could one of those 3 guys make this roster as a 5th wide receiver, or 2 of them as the 4th and 5th wide receiver? I think it's interesting to really think about it because Johnny Wilson, I mean, he had a role in this team last year, but not a huge role. Anaya Smith pretty much never saw the field last year. Not saying that they're busts of draft picks, but they might be able to make it on the practice squad. Could we see some of these guys? I think there is a possibility. This week, practice is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, with Wednesday an off day. It seems reports say that Tuesday will be the first pad at practice. So great to see that the pads will go on. Some hitting will happen. Hopefully everybody stays healthy and all. But we got a jam-packed week this week. We'll continue on breaking down every camp practice in literally taking 2 pages of notes every day. So we'll have plenty of notes from this week's practice. Guys, everybody have a great Monday. It's going to be hot out there in the Delaware Valley, so stay cool. Go Birds. and bubbles up.
My name is Happy Gilmore. I haven't swung a club in years.
You know what you gotta do. Grip it and rip it.
Or... Oh, now that is some Happy Gilmore.
Everyone is talking about the comeback kid, Happy Gilmore.
Happy Knee.
Yeah, baby.
Happy Gilmore 2, only on Netflix July 25th. Rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track-downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are, only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
Not all meals are created equal. For instance, breakfast has the spicy egg McMuffin for a limited time, and lunch doesn't. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome to Sephora. I'm looking for a perfume that's not too perfumey. I got you.
Serum moisturizer or moisturizer serum.
Let's get into layering.
My concealer is making me look worse.
Sounds like the wrong shade. Let's get you matched.
There's only one store that really gets what you're going for. Get beauty from people who get beauty. Only at Sephora.
Hi, Let's get you a basket.